Welcome to another day in the life of an entrepreneur. This particular day is a little bit unique because I've hired this big coach and all these business owners are going to come around with me and see how I've bought businesses, why I've bought businesses, what I'm doing to improve them into the future. Come with me and have a little look. Thank you very much for coming here today. I hope you enjoy this day. This is the last time I think we're ever going to run this, and we're going to be recording this today. So if anyone doesn't want to be on camera, so that's what we're doing today. We're going to make a little video as well. We'll be going around some of our attractions, and I want you to Q&A me all day. If you've got any questions on how we bought it, why we bought it, the deal structure, why it fits into our ecosystem, put your hands up on the coach and I'll do my very best to answer. I'll tell you about Marsh Farm, where we kick off this day. I bought this when I was 28. It was a council-run property, and it was losing around 300,000 to £500,000 a year. Now that £200,000 gap is because they didn't really know. They were running it. It was doing around £900,000 worth of revenue, and the wages were £750,000 a year when we bought it, and that was back in 2012, 2013. One of the big things I've learned in business, be very careful of the tyranny of the minority, especially if you've got team members as you're building up your business. You've got this minority that shout the loudest, that can veer you off course. And that was one of the big problems that we had here at Marsh Farm. Everyone could always go to someone else, because I was consulting here for a year. So if someone didn't like my decision, they would go to the area manager. And if the area manager, they didn't like that, they would go to the leader of the council. If they didn't like the leader of the council, they would go to the councillors. So you then go around in this big merry-go-round of nothing getting done. So the second we bought it, we could actually make decisions. And one of those big decisions was we could produce a marketing leaflet and send it out. And we just couldn't do that stuff. So very quickly we grew the revenue, we doubled the turnover in 1 year, and I signed a 25-year lease that I could have on this place. And there was a break at 10 or 12 years, which was a few months ago. And the second I bought it, I was like saying, please can I buy the freehold? Please can I buy the freehold? Please can I buy the freehold? Well, luckily, about 2 weeks ago, we exchanged on buying the freehold for here. So now I'm really going to motor on with this place, because I had this massive anxiety for sort of between years 8 and 12. I had all these staff, all this investment, all this commitment. It could have just been swiped away from me. Someone in the council thinking, oh, this bloke, he's turned it around now, let's take it back from him. So we will complete on this in the next few weeks. We've exchanged, so the completion is 12 weeks after that exchange, and then we're going to turn this into what I really want to turn it into. I want to put glamping here, put accommodation here, spend some money to take it to the next level. It's going to be mamma mia, mamma mia. Now, when I took this on, though, I took on a massive pension strain, millions of pounds worth of loss. So when I bought this, they were getting rid of losses of cash each and every year, and I took on a £3 million pension strain. So whilst I didn't pay anything for this place, I took on all of that, took on the loss and committed to invest in it. So that's why I got the good deal on the rent. Now, the second I buy this, then it will be not a hands-off relationship. It will be landlord and operator within the same ecosystem. So they'll go, we want a percentage of your turnover. So usually the way it works on visitor attractions is 5% of your turnover is your rateable value, and then you pay half of that. So 2.5% of your turnover on average for visitor attractions gets paid as business rates. So 20% VAT, 2.5% business rates, employers' national insurance. While we're still here, let's move to Dubai. Anyway, so a couple of theme parks going bust at the moment. I don't know if you've seen in the news, tough time for hospitality and leisure. That's a good time to go shopping, because lots of things are going bust, and these rides are really holding their value. So that carousel that we're going to put there, it'll be like 400 grand new, and we've managed to get it for 120 because it's gone back. And then we're going to put a big balloon ride in our role play village. Really exciting. I'm doing all these deals at the moment where all these things are going bust. It's exciting. It's one of our big concerns is what Rachel Thieves is doing to the cost of employment. I just find it bizarre. It's about as political as I'll get today, but I find it bizarre that you do a really good thing for society, employ people, then you get punished with higher national insurance. And don't you worry, I'm writing the letters and doing what I can to fight for us. But so we're trying to find ways of putting low staffing activities in here. We actually have one challenge is people don't really want to work as much as they used to. And we have a very seasonal business. This is a feast and famine business. You have days where you can take 70 grand in a day and a day where you can take £500 a day. And our challenge as business leaders of this organisation is to make sure that we iron out those peaks and troughs. There's a really simple thing here. So usually when you would come to an attraction like this, you'd have some person go, oh, smile at the green screen, take a photo, and that'd be a member of staff. Well, we've come up with this technology now where they do it all themselves. And funnily enough, I've been speaking to other attraction owners. They are getting more sales from not having a human being here on the photography at attractions than having the human being, because this does all the natural upselling. It speaks to you, it tells you what to do. You're not pressured to have that person, come on next. And that's a whole member of staff that we've been able to remove using technology. And I know everyone knows this stuff, use technology in your business, use technology, but I just wanted to show you, it doesn't have to be some Fandango software. Think about stuff that you do in your business every day, because you can really slash some staffing costs. And if you don't, you might evaporate. Look out for the egg that will hatch in a minute. There you go. It says Mark on there, if you look. And so the kids get to colour in, do their dinosaurs, load it in, put their name on, and then the eggs hatch. They love it. And we wanted to do stuff like that rather than just a dinosaur walkthrough. That being said, I've just been to China and we're going to add in some animatronic dinosaurs because we had a planning. But yeah, so we're going to put some more dinosaurs out there. We're going to put some animatronic ones out there. And I've been to China, guys, there is so much opportunity in China. I mean, as long as you get on the plane and actually do the boot work, you can't just do it on Alibaba. You've got to get out there. I really think if you've got a busy enough market and busy enough customers, you can go out there and create stuff. And, you know, they make the best stuff in the world. You know, all of our iPhones and smartphones are made out there, but they also make the tat of the world as well. So it's about going out there, doing the work, and I think you can build some great business and great connections. I think they're very good people to do business with, as long as you go out there and see them, and you can create innovative products that would take you so long to do here. They're not the cheapest place in the world to buy from now. You can go to the Philippines, Vietnam, Cambodia, all of those places are cheaper. In fact, China is quite expensive, but they have the scale. They've got 1 billion people. They've got raw materials, factories, transport, infrastructure. You know, people sort of slag me and go, why don't you make your teddy bears over there? We actually struggle to get people to scoop ice cream. So getting them to make teddy bears in this country is near on impossible. It's just madness. I mean, we do some stuff in India as well, but India are nowhere near as organised as the machine, the factory that is China, because people will dress something up for sale and they will say, oh, we've got this amazing opportunity coming. Listen to all that stuff, take all that stuff in. But if you know that you can add value or get value from the day you buy it, that's the winner chicken dinner moment. So when we bought Cafe Deli, transport infrastructure, we could give it $1.5 million worth of revenue straight away. And by buying that, they could save us 300 grand on transport a year. Now they were making around $1 million of profit. And we looked at their accounts, thought, we're buying it for a good price. That's good. We'll help ourselves to that. But we know our value is 10 times more than we're getting over there. Same with Camp Beaumont. We looked at that and we thought, we could put that at Marsh Farm. We could put that at Lee Valley. We could fold that into our childcare business. We saw more upside for us. And then there's opportunity there as well. And I think that's the good acid test to calm you down.
Personal value add, basically.
Yeah. Because if you've got that, and then everything else is cream, and most people just buy it on what profit has it got. And yes, of course, that's important to us. Yes, we go for all of that, but we want to know what it can do for us first. Yeah, all of that, yeah. We're building a shop at the front. We're starting that in about 3 weeks. I had a massive shop here. Yeah, well, I had a massive shop here, and we closed the shop down and extended the nursery, because the shop was making us around 90,000 profit. The nursery, by converting that space, is 350 grand's worth of profit. No brainer. Close the shop. But we need to get the shop open again. And I've been, as you guys probably follow me on YouTube, I have so much going on. It's like, where does the capital go first? Where do I deploy the capital to get the maximum return? Is that Cafe Deli? Is that Lee Valley? Is that another day nursery? Is that Partyman one? Is that Rossi? Is that the part? I can spend £1 million before I've had my first cup of tea this morning. Yorkshire Gold, always. Well, hello gang, welcome to this brand new coach. Just found out this is made in China, this coach. It's just brand new, 2,000 miles on the clock. Do you know what, I can tell because the PA system sounds good. Last year was a bit muffly. Yes, we are now on our way to Red Lions Business Park. A little lesson there, and then we're going to go to the hotel, and in between a little surprise. This site is very good. I mean, it was about 140, 150 grand a year. 150 grand a year rent comes in, Trace manages it, we've got loads of space where we can do more here, we've got a couple of yards over there. Well, business, you can get your money back much quicker, or you can lose a lot quicker and you end up funding it. So that's why I like buying 10-year-old businesses, proven track record, established. There's a lot less risk in those acquisitions. That's like, we buy this has been here for 30 years. This is a scruffy old site, but it makes lots of money, and when I bought Roller City, I bought the Rossi Parlour, all of those things are 10, 20, 30 or 100-year-old businesses. The hotel, a 500-year-old business. Those things really get me going. The question here was talking about layers of management. What am I looking after? I don't look after any of it. I don't look after any of our property stuff. Trace looks after all of our property stuff and looks after me. Chuds looks after all of the content and JSE stuff with Stevie. Jenky's our group commercial director, so she's probably the only person that has her tentacles in everything we do, but she heads up our Teddy-tastic business as well. Aaron heads up our leisure businesses. Katie and Amy head up our childcare businesses. Joff heads up our Asia business in Camp Beaumont. Guy is the CEO of Camp Beaumont UK, so there's heads in every department, and I don't manage anything day to day.
They feed into you?
They don't even feed into me, they feed into Jenky and Aaron. I really have 4 or 5 people: Tracy, Chuds, Leah, the FDs reporting to me, Leah and David. No, I've always been quite good. The answer was, did it take me a while to go hands off? No, I've always been quite good at understanding my weaknesses, and my weaknesses are not managing people day to day. I hate managing people. I think I'm quite good at leadership in terms of this is the direction we're going. There's a crisis, solve the crisis. I just don't like doing day-to-day stuff. I mean, I like lots of plates to spin. And I'm very good at the acquisition stuff, like putting a deal together. Well, the coach day is going spiffing. The team have seen some of the sites that I've bought Red Lions Business Park, Marsh Farm, how I structured the deal, why I bought those businesses. But also I showed them a little surprise, a brand new site that I'm buying. You can't see that on YouTube, but I'm going to reveal all in the coming weeks. We're now here at the Blue Ball pub, which is next to the hotel that we own. And I'm taking the team upstairs into the long room where I'm going to tell them about some things I'm thinking about this year, some directions and aims I've got. I'm going to do some more Q&A. We're going to have a little bite of lunch. Actually, interestingly, this pub here that we own, I've already spoken about this much here on the YouTube channel, but it's going like gangbusters. So in future weeks, I'm going to make a video called How Much Money Does My Pub Make? So look out for that on the channel as well. Right, come on, let's go. I thought we'd do a bit of Q&A and just talk about what we're really here today is understand why we buy businesses. I just still see it as just such a good opportunity. There's just so many for sale and you have to choose the right ones. I've bought some things that I shouldn't have bought, and usually because they've been too small, tiny little businesses with lack of management. So I've got some of my sort of top tips here. We're looking for 1 million plus revenue businesses, understanding that we operate as entrepreneurs with E plus M equals S, so entrepreneurship plus management equals success. If you're on the early runs of entrepreneurship, which I don't think that's many of you guys in here, most of you guys are long in the tooth, got employees, but if you are scared about increasing headcount, increasing salary costs, actually when you buy a business, you help yourselves to lots of revenue straight away and profitability straight away. And then it might mean that you can employ that better class of FD or that better class of managing director, because all of a sudden you've got a lot more fat in terms of revenue that you can share around. And then lastly, establishment, looking for stuff that's at least 10 years old. We know the data tells us that only 5% of businesses get to their 10-year anniversary. So if we're buying something that's already 10 years old, then that's great news because we've removed a lot of the risk. We've in fact removed 95% of the risk and we're in the top 5% of businesses. In fact, there's this thing called the Lindy effect. If it's been going for 20 years, there's a good chance it will go for another 20 years. If it's been going for 30 years, there's a good chance for it going another 30 years. If you look at, the big shops and big brands like Harrods, you really know that if you're a betting person that Harrods will be there in 100 years time. Could you say that of Summerfield and QuickSave? No, they're gone. And so thinking about that is really, really powerful. You're buying into establishment is just fantastic. Right, any questions, gang? So Rightmove Commercial is where I spend most of my time. I never look at Rightmove Residential. I look in for leases for sale and property for sale because there's gems in both of them. Zoopla Commercial is very good as well. I like Zoopla Commercial because some of the commercial agents are not on Rightmove Commercial, but they are on Zoopla Commercial. Your local business brokers, writing letters out to people that you want to acquire, speaking at conferences. So if you wanted to buy storage parks, which I think are a good model, I'd go and speak at the National Storage Association and say at the end, hope you enjoyed my talk. I'm looking to buy storage parks. If anyone's up for selling, come and talk to me, baby. I find that is a good little way. I've found some good deals. Speaking at industry conferences, compounding over a period of time. Making YouTube videos has very much helped me buy great businesses and certainly solidifies the way I want to structure a deal, i.e. put as little of my own money in as possible, because people see how I've done that before on my YouTube channel. Actually, people trust you because you're on YouTube as well, because they think, well, this bloke's got a personality that he doesn't, well, maybe you might not think I've got a personality, but it's a personality profile that he wants to protect. I bought the day nursery in Southend. If we've got time, we'll go and have a look at that today. I've done the deal. He then went and Googled me afterwards, because a lot of people do that. They'll check you on Company's House, they'll Google you, and they see all these videos and all this sort of risk reversal that, that you're kosher in the things that you want to do. So price, range, convenience, they're the things that I keep sort of banging into. And what we do as businesses, and I have to try and be very careful on what we do in our business. So if you're in catering, you want to limit the menu because it's more convenient for the business to have a limited menu. It means that you don't have as much wastage and stuff. But that's actually quite annoying as a consumer, What if I want a different type of steak? What if I want mashed potato instead of fries? Oh, we only do fries because it's more convenient for us as a business. You might get that sale once, but does that put a little niggle in the person's mind? They go, well, I'll go somewhere where there's more convenience. I mean, like maybe I have to go to a Spanish restaurant on the seafront that give you the Argos catalogue for the menu. You've got everything you can possibly ever want. But I mean, that's one extreme to the other. But price, range, convenience. If you can tick all those three things, I think you're off to the races. And Airbnb, I thought about doing that. All of these things were playing in my head. I thought, I'm just going to see hotels for sale because it's the best consultancy. Hotels for sale in Essex. Few came up, and then I went and viewed them, and I said, how'd you do the laundry? I thought, it must be a nightmare when you iron all those sheets every day. Oh no, there's a machine in there that you just feed it all in and it comes out all perfectly pressed. And I was like, I didn't know that. Snap, snap, snap. What's that machine? Stealing all these 10,000 hours. And then I just thought, I'll just buy this. And then when I do accommodation at Marsh Farm, we would have already had loads of practice, got established team members. Oh, just that stuff. Working it out all on your own. I mean, it feels like a cheat code. It's like you're playing a video game and you've got a cheat code. Not only do you help yourself to cash flow, to profitability, knowledge, lovely. A chain of Airbnbs, who's going to buy it? Someone else running Airbnbs. I'm thinking like, who's the big daddy with the big checkbook that will want to buy that? I build up 3 or 4 or 5 of these things. There'll be a chain that would buy that off of me and it'll be a good payday. You're buying in for cash flow, and I do want to buy for cash flow, but I also want to buy for the liquidity event in 5 years' time. We've been having a fantastic Q&A session here at the Blue Ball Hotel. These are great business owners. These are the types of people that you want to be in the room with. They're all coming to Business Masterclass in September. It's my big 2-day event where I do big lessons on how to get customers, grow the profitability in your business, buy companies. I love spending time with these guys. Really get me going because there's many opportunities out there. As long as you think big, take some action, the world is your lobster. Today I've hired a coach and I'm taking some really ambitious business owners around all my businesses, telling them how I've bought businesses, why I've bought businesses and why they've flowed into our ecosystem.
How can you spend a whole day away from the empire and stuff you're doing? How can you do that? How does that work?
Well, I think you're building a personal brand, you're helping people, and ultimately I make content from it. And that's leverage for me. If I do this day and make a video from it, I can use that video to be viewed again and again and again. People find that interesting. Okay. And by having a personal brand, I open up doors for the business wholesale.
Right. But you ain't earning no money out of today, are you? Really? You're not on their ticket price. There's 2 bits of nothing for them to get access to you.
No, but I think, look, if you're doing tasks that don't allow you to, whatever time you're putting in, to be able to be used again and again, then I wouldn't be doing it. But because we're making a video from it, it can be used. My time is being leveraged again and again and again. That's very powerful.
These guys are mature business people.
Absolutely,
aren't they?
yeah.
I mean, they are really asking great questions, haven't they?
And they want to buy companies,
yeah. Okay. See you soon.
So we've arrived here at Roller City on the Rossi Ice Cream Factory, and also the home of Teddy Tasty, which is our children's arts and crafts distributor. Team are going in now, and they're going to see this business, ask me some questions. I'm going to go through our strategic plans of which bits we're moving, because Teddy Tastic's outgrown this space, Rossi's growing, so we need to do that. And obviously the interesting thing about this is we own the freehold of this site, so that's quite a powerful thing for us. Right, let's get in. I bought this because I kept seeing the owners in the yard at the back. And I said, if you ever want to sell, I'll buy it. If you ever want to sell, I'll buy it. And they said no, and then I went and bought something else, used all my cash, and then they said, hey, we're ready to sell. So we had to do a private mortgage on this, which we're about to again take out with the bank. See as a repeating theme of mine here. This is a great business. Does about 1.5 million of revenue, makes about 300,000 profit. Makes that profit really because we own the building as well. I suppose if there's a commercial rent, it'd only make 150 grand, which is about 10% of its turnover, but still good. Cafe Deli supplies all the food and drink here. The slush is from Rossi. The ice cream is from Rossi. So loads of vertical integration going on here. No, I don't ever pay interest. I say no interest. And if they, see you later, no deal. Personal guarantee. And they still have a debenture over the building. So it's a good thing. So you say, look, you still have a debenture over the site. You have a charge over the site. You have my personal guarantee. But business owners know, like I know, it takes a while for banks to get their act together. So it means you can get the thing done, pay some debt down, prove that you know how to manage the business, and then take them out. Now look, because I've done this so many times, I'm very good at explaining it. I mean, I probably make it, look, you knock on 10 doors, I reckon most business sales, there is an element of vendor finance, even with the bank involved, because banks like it, because it means that the seller is on the hook to make sure they hand over everything properly. It's a very good insurance policy. Like if you get a mortgage, the bank have a charge over the property. A debenture's like a charge over the business. Every bank loan has debentures. Rightio gang, so we got a lot going on in this building. This is our commercial bakery down here. We make all of our donuts and all of our cakes that go to all of our venues, and its biggest customer is Cafe Deli Wholesale. We used to distribute all this ourselves. And one of the big things we want to do here was remove our transport costs when we bought Cafe Deli, because that's the big thing. If you can't do transport on volume, it's not really worth doing. So where Cafe Deli is like a 10 million business, they had all the infrastructure to deliver into London and East Essex and Kent every single day. And we were really struggling. We about £1.5 million revenue business. So we just slashed all that cost. And now they can just focus on doing food manufacturing. So behind that sort of white freezer door where we store all the cakes, they get hardened. Behind that is the ice cream factory. Above here is offices, and towards the back is where we're running Teddy-tastic from. And you'll see we just don't have enough room, and that's why we moved into that other property. You saw that new site that we're buying earlier. This is all going to come out of there. And then if you imagine half of this mezzanine will go to Roller City so that we can have more seating, arcades, maybe even bowling in the future. We have just completely outgrown the space. We cannot operate from here anymore. But it's been a challenge to find somewhere big enough, and we're very lucky that we've found that place that you saw earlier. Around 2015 I started this, and I just picked up the phones, didn't have a website, didn't have a brochure, just good old-fashioned picking up the phone, calling leisure attractions. And then I went to China, found some products, went on my own for the first time, sort of worked it all out, and it's just such a great business. Very, very high revenue per employee. It's like 14 staff. Maybe we put it up to 30 staff and it'd be a £15 million revenue business. Although you need to have millions of pounds in stock, and you just have to have it because we've got some very big customers, some A-class customers that demand a lot of us. There's a bit of customer concentration here, i.e. there's one of our customers is more than 10% of our revenue, but we're working hard to dilute them. Want to keep them, obviously we love them, want to keep them, but we need to bring in other customers that dilute their dominance. This in catering's called Four and Serve. Really good quality donuts. And then after an hour, they taste fresh. All of Greg's donuts are all frozen, all of their cakes frozen. And then all of this blast frozen cookies, these all go to Cafe Deli. It's fantastic. This is more storage in there. And you can see why we had to buy this, because we keep taking over more and more of this space. Although we used to have like 6 of these sort of vans here, they've all gone now to Cafe Deli. So this space really can be used for more leisure. We can then probably put more customer parking here once we've all cleared out of here. So we've just come back from the Rossi factory and Roller City, and we're now here at the Rossi Parlour, very much the jewel in the crown of the Rossi Empire. There's a 100-year-old ice cream parlour. We're going to put seating above here. We're just putting in planning there with a nice glass balustrade to be able to overlook the sea. And all of our business owners that have been on the coach tour are now going to finish their lovely day off with me with an ice cream of their choice. I'm going to have rum and raisin, and that was a little bit of an appreciation for Rossi. Thank you very much for being here. If you've got any other questions, let me know.
Thanks, James.
Thank you very much. That's very kind of you. Thank you. That's very kind of you. Grazie, grazie, grazie.